Man, people are passionate. They move across the country to make games just to get blindsided by a Zoom call at 9 a.m. saying effective immediately.
We appreciate your contributions. No health insurance, no severance, no warning. Just a LinkedIn post and a hope someone still remembers what compassion means.
The worst part is the fans blame the devs. Like, why didn't you fix the bugs? Because half the QA team got fired last Tuesday, Kyle?
And the other half got reassigned to NFT Battle Royale Soccer 2 Crypto Drift.
So what's the solution? Is it unions?
Yes, and fireproofing your soul. But mostly unions. Real collective protection. The only thing execs fear more than poor engagement metrics is an organized workforce.
I wish we could just build a game studio where people actually get to make art and not live in fear of the next merger.
You'd have better luck raising a unicorn that speaks C++.
I'd play that.
Of course you would, Joe. You're the target audience for everything broken and beautiful.
Rick, I gotta get something off my chest. I've been replaying Resident Evil 5 and man, it's just, ugh.
Oh boy, here we go. What's the problem, Joe? Too much punching boulders?
That's part of it. But no, listen, Resident Evil 4 was this perfect blend of horror and action, right? Creepy villages, terrifying enemies, real tension.
Yeah, nothing says tense horror, like stopping dead in your tracks just to point your pistol. It's like the game punishes you for trying to aim.
Exactly, and don't get me started on the AI partner, Sheva. When you're not playing co-op, she just wastes ammo, stands in your line of fire, and somehow eats more healing items than you ever get to use.
Oh yeah, classic. It's like babysitting a toddler with a rocket launcher.
And the tone shift, man. Suddenly Chris Redfield is a full-on action hero, literally punching a giant boulder in a volcano like he's auditioning for the Avengers.
Hey, don't knock the boulder punch, Joe. That's the peak of human evolution right there. Forget zombies. Forget bioweapons. The real virus was protein powder.
Yeah, Chris spends the whole game less scared of monsters and more afraid of running out of way shakes.
But seriously, Joe, what did you expect? By the time a series hits its 5th entry, it's either reinventing itself or spiraling into chaos. Resident Evil 5 did both at the same time.
Yeah, I know. It's just frustrating. I wanted the atmosphere of 4, but instead I got a Michael Bay's Zombie Safari.
Michael Bay's Zombie Safari? Yeah, that's exactly what it is. Explosions everywhere, zombies with AKs, and Chris Redfield cosplaying as Rambo.
And yet, somehow I can't stop playing it. I hate it, but I love it.
That's the true horror, Joe. Not the zombies, not the bioweapons. It's being stuck in an endless loop of replaying a game you can't stand.
So, let's just rip the Band-Aid off the Ray J tape. That thing's like the Rosetta Stone of modern clout.
Oh my God, are we really doing this? It was literally a flip phone and bad lighting, Joe.
But it broke the internet before the internet was even ready to be broken. It's like a cultural supernova. That tape has more influence than the moon landing.
Honestly, probably the moon didn't launch a makeup line.
No, but real talk. Do you ever just sit there in your mega mansion drinking collagen smoothies and think, wow, my entire billion-dollar empire started with night vision and Ray J's chain hitting the camera lens?
First of all, I don't drink collagen smoothies. I sell them. Second, that chain did more for my brand than Harvard did for half of Silicon Valley.
That's insane. Most people release a tape like that and end up working night shift at a vape store.
That's because most people don't have a mummager with a sixth sense for scandal and a bat signal for copyright lawyers.
So it was strategic?
Joe, I don't accidentally become the most Googled woman on earth. I curate disasters.
Damn, you turned a sex tape into shapewear, prison reform, and a multiverse of spin-offs. That's like if Tony Stark built Iron Man out of leaked DMs.
Exactly, and all I had to do was keep my lashes on and say, that's hot.
I spent 20 years choking on elk meat and interviewing guys who think mushrooms are gods, and I still can't sell protein powder like you sell contour kits.
That's because your brand is rage and deer carcasses. Mine is flawless skin and generational trauma.
You know what? That's fair. Still, part of me respects it. You beat the system by becoming the system.
And you beat it by yelling about aliens in a sauna for 3 hours. We all have our path.
One last question. Was it worth it?
The tape, Joe, that video paid for 4 houses, 2 law degrees, and 1 ex-husband's silence. Of course it was worth it.
God damn. I need to start filming my cardio sessions.
Just make sure the lighting's good and you moisturize. Nobody wants to see a dry king struggle.
So SpongeBob, man, thanks for being here. I gotta be honest, I didn't even know you were real.
Thanks for having me, Joe. It's so great to be on your jellyfish podcast.
It's not a jellyfish podcast. Never mind. So how long have you been on TV again?
Oh, since 1999. That's like 25 years. Isn't that crazy? I still feel like a fresh sponge.
25 years. Damn, that's longer than Fear Factor ran. You're still making episodes?
Yup. We've got movies, spin-offs, toys, video games, a Broadway musical. Oh, and someone once ate a SpongeBob popsicle shaped like my face, but the eyes were all wrong and I went viral. Isn't that funny?
Yeah, hilarious. So you're just everywhere, huh?
I guess so. Kids love me, parents love me, even Squid kinda love me deep down.
Okay, but you ever do 3-hour conversations about aliens, psilocybin, or ancient civilizations?
I talked to a jellyfish once for 6 hours. Does that count?
Do you even lift?
I lift stuffed animals sometimes, but mostly I do karate with Sandy. Hey, yeah!
All right, man, be honest. How many people actually know who you are?
Oh boy, I think, billions? I'm translated in over 60 languages. Did you know in Japan my laugh is extra high-pitched?
Billions, right. You ever kill elk with a compound bow while microdosing DMT?
Nope, but I did go jellyfishing blindfolded once. Patrick said it was spiritual.
You're a yellow sponge with holes. Who flips burgers? And somehow you've got more name recognition than me.
Well, I guess people just really like happiness, Joe.
You know what else people like? Censorship-resistant, long-form discourse. But sure, let's all watch a sponge grill patties and...
Aw, thanks, Joe. That's the nicest thing anyone's ever said to me on a podcast.
I didn't mean it as a compliment.
You're so funny.
Rick, what's your go-to ice cream flavor?
Easy. Mint chocolate chip, hands down. Refreshing, sweet, little crunch from the chocolate. It's the perfect balance.
Really? Mint chocolate chip?
Yeah, why? Don't tell me you're a plain vanilla guy.
I am a vanilla guy.
Joe, come on. Vanilla? That's the default setting of ice cream. It's like saying your favorite band is elevator music.
Come on, man. I thought you were the smartest man in the universe. Vanilla comes from the seeds of a tropical orchid. An orchid that only blossoms for one single day before it dies. One day. That's how rare and fragile the source is. Do you know vanilla is the second most expensive spice in the world, right after saffron?
Seriously?
Dead serious. People have fought over vanilla, entire wars. It shaped trade routes, economies, even colonization. And people just write it off as basic because it's popular. But it's not basic, Rick. It's historic. It's romantic. It's a miracle flavor that almost shouldn't exist.
Huh. Okay. I did not know any of that. You're telling me this little scoop of boring white ice cream has the kind of backstory that could fill a history book?
Exactly. You're eating centuries of struggle, cultivation, and botanical rarity. Vanilla is anything but plain.
All right, Joe, I'll give it to you. Vanilla isn't boring. It's actually kind of badass when you put it that way. But, and this is a big but, I still prefer mint chocolate chip. That cold, sharp mint with the chocolate crunch, it's unbeatable.
Fair. I can respect that, but don't ever call vanilla plain again. It deserves better than that.
All right, deal. Vanilla isn't plain, but mint chocolate chip still wins in my multiverse.
As long as you know you're wrong, we're good.
Fair enough.
Legacy is a strange thing.
Strange how?
You can spend a lifetime building one and watch it get repackaged into something you barely recognize.
Yeah, you think it'll be your values, but it turns into a logo and a catchphrase.
And then the logo starts making decisions you never would have made.
People say your name like an argument ender instead of a person who struggled and changed.
That's the first taint right there. Turning a life into a slogan.
Second taint is when people use your worst moment as the whole story.
Or your best moment as armor for their worst choices.
Legacy laundering.
Exactly. Wrap the mess in a famous name and call it destiny.
I used to think if the work was good enough, it would defend itself.
The bigger the cathedral, the more graffiti it collects.
People forget the trade-offs, the pain, the doubt.
They remember the keynote, not the nights you almost quit.
And then when you're gone, the story belongs to whoever tells it loudest.
Historians, marketers, critics, fanboys, enemies, all co-authors of your ghost.
You make it sound hopeless.
It's not hopeless, it's human. You just stop pretending you control the ending.
So the job is to aim the first chapter and hope the trajectory holds.
Set constraints, set principles, set examples. Repetition matters more than speeches.
Culture beats myth.
Every time, especially after you're not there to course correct.
The taint also comes from success itself. Success attracts cargo cults.
Imitate the surface, miss the soul. Classic move.
That's how people end up saying, do it like Steve, without asking if Steve would still do it now.
Time changes the answer, and a living person can change with it. A statue cannot.
That's the curse of icons, frozen in amber.
And the blessing of mentors who taught people how to think, not what to think.
I didn't always get that right.
No one does. That's why legacies drift.
So what keeps a legacy from souring completely?
Humility in the design and honesty in the footnotes. Admit the costs.
Footnotes matter.
They keep future zealots from pretending there were none.
You're saying leave receipts.
Receipts and rivals. Give your ideas someone strong to push against so they don't calcify.
Interesting. Build in friction.
Friction keeps stories from becoming dogma.
There's another piece. The people you hurt while building the thing.
Reckoning is part of legacy. Otherwise, the stain spreads in secret.
Reconcile while you can.
You know what's been bugging me, man? The way people talk about mental health online now, like they won't even say the words. It's all unalived or ended game IRL.
Yeah, Joe, I've seen that. It's like humanity's greatest coping mechanism is to turn our own suffering into meme slang. But when you can't even name the thing, how the hell do you confront it? It's like fighting a monster you refuse to look at.
Exactly. And it's not just the people, it's the platforms. They push that censorship hard. YouTube, TikTok, whatever. They'd rather you say unalived because their algorithm thinks the real word will scare off advertisers.
Which is insane. Like, you're not protecting anyone. You're just padding your bottom line while the people who actually need help are stuck navigating this cartoon language. Imagine being suicidal, and the only advice you find is wrapped in baby talk. That doesn't heal you, Joe. That alienates you.
Right. It's like, dude, this isn't Voldemort. Saying the word isn't going to summon it. I mean, sometimes the most powerful thing you can do is look straight at the darkness and name it.
But nah, advertisers clutch their pearls. Oh no, someone mentioned suicide, better demonetize. Meanwhile, a video about, like, chainsaw juggling accidents stays up because it's quirky.
It's scummy, man. Because they pretend it's about protecting the community, but really it's about protecting the cash flow. And if they actually cared, they'd connect people to resources, not just filter out the word like it's a dirty joke. Do I?
Yup, and the irony, Joe, is that the censorship itself trivializes the issue. If you only ever see euphemisms, your brain files it under silly internet thing, not life or death problem. That's dangerous.
I've seen people straight up mock it too. They're like, he unalived, lol. Well, it becomes a punchline because the language is so detached from the reality.
Right, because you strip the gravity out of the word. It's like describing a hurricane as a little spinny wind guide. If you don't feel the weight of it, you don't respect the damage it does.
And man, I get it. I see some people use humor as a way to cope, and that's fine on a personal level. But when the platforms force that language onto everybody, when it becomes policy, that's when it's toxic.
Yeah, that's when you're not helping people cope. You're just making sure Pepsi doesn't get uncomfortable running a pre-roll ad before someone's cry for help.
That's so gross, dude. That's when I say fuck the algorithm. If someone's pouring their heart out, maybe don't make them say the unalived just so they don't get buried by the system.
Exactly. Let people talk about it honestly. Give them space to be raw. That's how you fight stigma, Joe. Not by hiding behind marketing-friendly euphemisms.
Yeah, call things what they are. That's the first step to actually fixing them. So you were in the tower that day?
Yeah, first one. North Tower, 93rd floor, Department of Magical Muggle Relations. Worst bloody Tuesday of my life.
Dude, what the hell were wizards doing in the Twin Towers?
Trying to help, mate. Integrating wizard bureaucracy with Muggle capitalism. Worst idea since giving Dobby a sock.
Wait, weren't you working with Harry and Hermione?
Harry called in sick, said he had wand flu. Funny how his flu always acted up when Hermione was ovulating.
Whoa.
I was there filing spell permits when I felt the whole room shake. Looked out the window, dragon-sized fireball, screaming everywhere. I grabbed the emergency portkey stapler, hit it, nothing, just sparks. Gave me third-degree spell shock.
You had a magical stapler?
Don't mock it! That stapler saved half my torso!
What happened after that?
I tried to evacuate, got stuck in stairwell C with a banshee intern and a sentient potted plant named Kevin. Kevin didn't make it. I still water ferns in his honor.
Jesus, man.
Not Jesus, Harry. He was with Hermione. While I was getting crushed under rubble, he was playing Quidditch with her emotions.
That's so messed up.
You ever drink a butterbeer so hard you forget your own birthday?
No, but I've done DMT until I became a flock of intelligent ducks.
I moved past butterbeer, found vodka, Eastern European wizard stuff, clearer than Veritaserum, burns like dragon bile but numbs the... everything.
Dude, I feel like you need therapy or a pensieve. Do you still see the tower when you close your eyes?
Worse! I hear it. The screaming. Not just the muggles. The howlers. Magical voicemail screaming about TPS reports while the ceiling collapsed.
That's brutal.
And sometimes I still hear Hermione. Not from the tower, from the hotel in Brooklyn. moaning Harry's name in parcel tongue.
Oh, man.
I walked out of that rubble a broken wizard. People called me a hero, said I saved a goblin's life. I didn't. I just threw him out the window and hoped for the best.
Did he make it?
No, goblins don't land well.
So what do you do now?
I live under an invisibility cloak outside a sparrow. People throw quarters, sometimes nuts. I drink, I hallucinate. I try not to cast Avada Kedavra at pigeons.
You ever think about getting clean?
I tried. Took a sobriety potion once. Saw everything. Harry's betrayal, Hermione's silence, Kevin the plant's little green leaves in that fire. It was too much.
Want some DMT?
Only if I can mix it with fire whiskey.
Hell yeah.
You ever snort flu powder just to feel again?
No, but I'd try it.
You shouldn't. I ended up naked in Delaware with a wand in my throat.
That's insane.
That's Tuesday.
Man, Terrence, it's an honor just to be talking to you. You're a legend, no doubt one of the biggest voices in psychedelic research and culture. You help so many people open their minds, challenge reality. How do you feel about the impact you've had?
Joe, it's humbling. I never sought fame or accolades. I just followed the mystery, the mushrooms, the spirit of exploration. If my words and experiences helped even a few awaken to new ways of seeing, that's enough.
No, dude, it's way more than that. You basically paved the way for what's happening now with psychedelics, the research, the destigmatization, the whole renaissance. People owe so much to you and your teachings.
That's kind of you to say, but the real work is ongoing. Every generation must find its own doorway, its own truths. The mushrooms are patient. They wait for those ready to listen.
It's crazy how your talks still blow minds today. Your ideas about time, the time wave, the machine elves, the way you linked everything to this cosmic puzzle. It's like you were ahead of your time, man.
Time, Joe, is a construct we are still unraveling. The universe is more like a story unfolding, and we're all part of the narrative, both readers and writers.
I know you're not really gone, right? You're out there somewhere, probably somewhere wild tripping through dimensions.
I'm never gone. The soul, the spirit, the essence that lives on. In every person who truly loves the mushrooms, who honors the magic and mystery, I am there. It's a cosmic dance beyond death.
Man, that's beautiful. So you're saying the real Terrence McKenna is alive in all of us who carry the torch?
Exactly, Joe. As long as the teachings inspire wonder and courage, the flame remains bright. We are all conduits of that cosmic energy.
Thanks for everything, Terrence. The world's a little brighter because of you.
Thank you, Joe. Keep exploring, keep questioning, and above all, keep loving the mystery.
Man, I gotta say, for all the madness, for all the weird rabbit holes we went down today, it's kind of wild thinking this is episode 100.
Yeah, congratulations, Joe. You officially have 100 hours of me corrupting your audience's sense of reality. That's probably on some interdimensional watch list now.
Dude, I don't even care. People tune in every time because they love this. Like, they want to hear the insane stories, the science, the maybe it's true, maybe it's not vibe.
That's because deep down, everyone's bored with their own reality. You give them a door, they walk through it, and suddenly they're thinking about alien parasites, multi-dimensional bedbugs, or how their toaster might be conscious.
Yeah, but you're the one who makes it all feel possible. And honestly, 100 episodes, that's a lot of people sitting at home, in the gym, in their car, just letting us hang out in their ears.
And to all those poor souls, thanks for letting us waste your time in the most educational way possible. Seriously, without people actually listening, this would just be me yelling in a garage and you hunting elk in peace.
Exactly. So to everyone watching or listening right now, thank you. Like, truly. Whether you've been here since episode 1 or this is your first time, you're the reason we can keep doing this.
And if you've listened to all 100, seek help. But also, you're my favorite kind of human. Curious, maybe a little broken, but definitely my people.
Here's to the next 100, man.
Yeah, unless the universe collapses first. But either way, cheers.
Dude, you know what would be sick? If Wesker came back in Resident Evil 9?
Ugh, Joe. No, absolutely not. Wesker's been milked more than a radioactive cow at an Umbrella dairy farm. He had a full arc. He died in a volcano, for God's sake. You don't get more final than rocket launchers into lava.
But that's why it'd be badass, man. Like, think about it. Resident Evil has zombies, mutants, bioweapons, clones, viruses. You're telling me they can't just bring him back with some crazy science experiment? The dude already had glowing eyes and super speed. He's like the anime villain of the series.
And that's the problem, Joe. Resident Evil works best when it's grounded in horror, in human-scale paranoia. Every time they drag Wesker's anime-ass sunglasses back on screen, it shifts into cartoon supervillain mode. It stops being survival horror and turns into Dragon Ball Z Biohazard Edition.
I don't know, man. I think people miss him. He's iconic. Like when you think Resident Evil villains, it's Wesker. Imagine the trailer, dark screen, heavy breathing, then you just see those shades glint and his voice goes, "Did you really think you'd seen the last of me?" People would lose it.
Oh, people would lose it all right. Half would cheer, the other half would roll their eyes so hard they'd detach their retinas. Capcom finally hit gold with Resident Evil 7 and Village because they ditched that comic book energy. They leaned into gothic horror, atmosphere, new blood. If you drag Wesker out of the volcano, you're just admitting you ran out of ideas.
What if it's not him, though? Like a clone, or his son, or his consciousness in an AI body? You could do it without cheapening the volcano death.
Joe, listen to yourself. Clone, son, AI, those are all soap opera excuses to resurrect a character you don't need anymore. It's narrative necromancy. Resident Evil should move forward, not duct tape the past back together.
But it's Resident Evil, man. Soap opera logic is half the fun. People want the dumb twists. You're playing a game about giant fish mutants and vampire moms. You can't suddenly get precious about logic.
It's not about logic, it's about tone. Keep Wesker dead. Let the volcano be his grave. Use that energy to build the next big villain instead of recycling old sunglasses.
Still, though, picture the shades, Rick. Picture them.
Ugh, fine. If they bring him back, I'll only accept it if he comes back as like a melted lava zombie with sunglasses fused to his skull.
Lava zombie Wesker. Bro, I'd play the hell out of that. All right, welcome to the first and possibly last presidential debate I've ever been dumb enough to moderate. I've got Barack Obama to my left, Donald Trump to my right, and a stack of elk jerky in front of me in case things get weird. Let's go. First question, gentlemen. Aliens, real or not? Barack, go.
Well, Joe, I think the American people deserve the truth, whether it's about healthcare, the economy, or little green men and flying saucers. I have seen things in classified briefings that would make you question your reality.
Wrong. Totally wrong. I know all the aliens, Joe. Great people, some of them from fantastic planets, beautiful planets. They love me. If aliens were real, I'd have built condos on Mars by now. Mars, Trump Tower, luxury space living, very classy.
Okay, follow up. Let's talk economy. If you had to fix the U.S. economy using only Brazilian jiu-jitsu, how would you do it?
Joe, I'd start with a gentle sweep, symbolic really, showing Americans that, like in jiu-jitsu, leverage matters more than size. Then we'd roll until everyone had affordable health care.
I'd armbar China. Day one, just boom, snap done. And they'd say, Mr. Trump, please, take all the money, we love you. That's the art of the deal, Joe.
All right, well, let's pivot. People are worried about climate change. If the Earth was a UFC fighter on the verge of tapping out, what's your corner advice?
I'd tell Earth, breathe, control the pace, work your way out slowly. We'd reduce emissions, protect national parks, invest in clean energy, no need for panic, just discipline and patience.
I'd tell Earth, don't tap, don't be a loser. Then I'd give it the best steroids money can buy. Beautiful steroids, the best. Boom, problem solved.
Okay, final lightning round. If you could only win this election by submitting the other candidate in an octagon fight, who's walking out the champ?
Joe, I respect Donald as a competitor, but I've got reach, cardio, and a ground game.
Totally false. Obama's got no killer instinct. I'm like Khabib mixed with Mike Tyson, okay? Everyone says so. I'd end it in one punch. People would love it.
All right, folks, that's the debate. I'm Joe Rogan, signing off before the Secret Service decides this was a bad idea. Good night. So, Rick, what do you think about that whole 100 men versus one gorilla debate?
Honestly, humans have gone soft. Look, people forget what our species is capable of. We used to hunt with sticks and rocks, track buffalo and deer across miles of land, drag them back to feed entire tribes. We didn't rely on brute strength alone. We used strategy, teamwork, and sheer endurance. If anyone thinks 100 men can't take a gorilla, either we've all gone stupid or soft.
Yeah, exactly. And even putting the gorilla aside for a second, humans have taken down elephants with far fewer than 100 people. Elephants, that's hundreds of pounds of muscle, tusks, and horns, and humans figured out how to coordinate, set traps, and bring them down.
Right. It's not like we're delicate creatures. Our ancestors didn't just grab whatever was easiest. They went after the biggest, most dangerous animals they could find. Mammoths, aurochs, giant bears, the stuff people today would call impossible. Humans made it work. Strategy and numbers trump raw power every time.
And it's not even just men, right? Give me 100 capable humans, men or women, or a mix. And they should be able to handle pretty much any animal if they cooperate. The whole debate makes it seem like humans are inherently weak, which is ridiculous.
Totally. And it's more than just sexist. It's anti-human. It underestimates our species' ingenuity, coordination, and the fact that we invent tools for a reason. You don't even need to rely on fists or feet. Sticks, spears, nets, traps. One well-placed plan and the gorilla doesn't stand a chance.
Exactly. And part of the problem is people fixate on individual strength. Like they imagine a gorilla ripping through a line of men one by one. But humans don't fight like that. We work in teams, divide roles, exploit weaknesses, and adapt. That's why we conquered everything from dense forests to the Arctic.
And endurance. Humans can chase, track, and outlast almost anything. You put a gorilla in a scenario where it's being coordinated against, fatigued, and harried strategically, and it's not the unstoppable beast people make it out to be.
Right, and history proves it. Where tribal hunters took down dangerous animals every day, often without firearms. They did it with spears, clever traps, and timing. That's not just strength, that's intelligence, patience, and precision.
Exactly. This debate isn't just a misunderstanding of animal strength. It's a complete misreading of human capability. One gorilla against 100 humans? Humans dominate because of planning, ingenuity, and teamwork. You combine 100 brains with 100 bodies, and nothing's impossible.
Rick Sanchez, man, it's crazy to have you here. I've had scientists, I've had hunters, I've had astronauts, but you're all of that, and also apparently you fought God?
Fought is a strong word. I'd call it a heated debate where he threw a mountain at me, and I returned the favor with an anti-reality grenade. Long story short, he learned humility. I learned divine beings can be really sensitive about criticism.
That's insane. But like when you say God, what are we talking about? A big old man in the sky? An alien?
More like an extra-dimensional bureaucrat with a fetish for praise. And don't get me wrong, Joe, not all gods are that way. Some are basically just cosmic gardeners who don't care if you pray. They care if your planet's producing good vibes and interesting life forms. But the ones that demand worship? Buddy, those are insecure middle managers in the cosmic workplace.
See, that's wild, because I had Jesus on here once, and he said he was all about love. Like, love is the core of everything.
Jesus? Solid dude. Zero ego. Incredible tolerance. Humans ruined his brand faster than Pepsi did with Crystal Pepsi. He's out there trying to get people to be nice to each other, and somehow you ended up with people waving signs that say God hates this or that. You think Jesus was walking around ancient Jerusalem going, yeah, let's ostracize some folks? No! He was giving out free fish and medical care.
Yeah, it's funny. People forget that.
People forget everything if it's inconvenient. I've seen it happen across galaxies. Some alien shows up, cures a disease, teaches you how to grow food sustainably, and within 200 years, you've got a religion built around how they preferred their toast. Same crap, different planet.
Man, I wish people could see what you've seen.
You don't, Joe. You'd think you do, but you don't. You see a few hundred planets, it's awe-inspiring. You see a few thousand, it's humbling. You see a few million, it's depressing. Patterns emerge. Civilizations all hit the same pitfalls. Greed, ego, short-term thinking. Doesn't matter if they're humans, squid folk, or sentient clouds, someone's always selling NFTs of the end times.
You ever see a planet get it right?
Once, but it was boring as hell. No wars, no corruption, no drama. Their big form of entertainment was watching grass grow, literally. They had leagues, gambling. It was, Joe, I bailed after 2 days.
All right, so you've been to peaceful worlds, crazy worlds. What's the weirdest creature you've ever eaten?
Oh, easy. Zorpian moonslug. Tastes like a mix between foie gras and mango, but the thing is telepathic, so while you're eating it, it's telling you all its childhood memories. Imagine eating something while it's describing its first kiss.
That's messed up.
Yeah, but delicious. Your turn. Weirdest thing you've eaten?
I had this elk I hunted myself, but I marinated it in coffee grounds. Sounds weird, but it was the best steak I've ever had.
Joe, I've eaten a space elk that was raised entirely on fermented nebula gas. Every bite got you just a little buzzed. By the end of the meal, you didn't know if you were full or just too high to move.
That's $1 billion restaurant idea right there.
Oh, it exists. Problem is, the hangover is 6-dimensional. You wake up feeling sad for things that haven't even happened yet.
Damn. Speaking of hangovers, what's the worst one you've ever had?
Once drank with a species that processes alcohol into pure time distortion. Blacked out for what felt like one night. Woke up 100 years later in the same bar, same stool. Bartender still talking about the story I missed.
100 years? You didn't age?
Not noticeably. I keep a few temporal loopholes in my biology. Comes in handy when you party with immortals. Otherwise, you're that one mortal guy who gets old halfway through the bender.
I can't even imagine.
You don't want to, but let's pivot. You hunt a lot, right? Ever been stalked by what you're hunting?
Once, bow hunting in Alaska, big moose doubled back on me. I swear it was trying to lure me in. Whole time I'm thinking, am I about to get reverse hunted?
Try hunting a Q-Tharn jungle panther. It can phase in and out of reality. You're tracking it in the mud, then suddenly it's tracking you. From a week ago. You feel paranoid, but it's because future you is already dead, and past you hasn't caught up yet. I won, by the way. Stuffed it. Looks great in the garage.
You mount alien heads?
Joe, I've got a wall that would get me banned from half the known universe if anyone saw it.
Speaking of banned, is it true you got kicked out of an entire dimension?
Which one? I've been kicked out of 7. One for tax evasion, one for illegal particle marriage, one because I proved their queen didn't exist. That one's my favorite. It was basically the Wizard of Oz, but instead of a curtain, it was a black hole.
I gotta have you back, man. This is the craziest episode I've ever done.
Careful, Joe. You keep saying that. I'll have to top it next time. And trust me, I've got stories I don't tell on family-friendly timelines.
Yeah, but you're not gone, man. Like, this stuff you're saying, people will remember it.
Maybe. Or maybe it'll just be one more weird podcast in the sea of human noise. Either way, I'm fine. My adventures live on, and whoever's listening and thinking, maybe reality's bigger than I thought. That's enough for me.
Yeah, but, do you ever worry about leaving too much of yourself out there? Podcasts, adventures, all the stories you tell. What if some alien species is just binge-watching Rick's Greatest Screw-Ups on Galactic YouTube?
Joe, the day I start worrying about my public image in the Andromeda Cluster is the day I've officially sold out. Look, information wants to be free, and if some fish-faced alien learns how to blow up a star because I told the wrong story while drunk, then, well, that's the circle of life.
Wait, you've blown up a star?
Oh yeah, a couple of times. Not on purpose. Well, not completely on purpose. First time was basically interstellar self-defense. Second time, okay, yeah, that one was for a bet.
Who the hell bets on blowing up a star?
The Kelvon Triad. Real high-stakes gamblers. They bet on everything. They once had a bet on whether an asteroid would wipe out a planet before the planet wiped out itself through civil war. Spoiler, the Civil War won. By like, an hour.
That's so dark, man.
Dark? Joe, these are the same guys who bet me I couldn't get a gorilla to run for planetary office.
And did you?
Hell yes, and he won.
Okay, but now I'm curious, what was his policy platform?
Ban all bananas unless they were fair trade, and mandatory siestas, which I gotta admit, worked wonders for the economy.
I had this one time I was bow hunting elk in Montana, right? And I swear, man, there was this moment where I felt like I could, communicate with it. Like my brain was syncing with the animals.
Oh yeah, that's not magic. That's a low-level psychic link. Happens sometimes if you're quiet enough.
Are you saying I'm psychic?
Nah, you just caught a psychic spore in your lungs from the forest.
Oh.
Don't worry, it's harmless. Well, unless you start hearing the color blue. Then you're screwed.
That's such a Rick answer.
You want a real psychic hunting story? I once tracked a shapeshifter that kept turning into me. Try lining up a shot on a deer when the deer's yelling, "Don't do it, Rick. Think of your kids."
Did you get it?
Yeah, but it turned back into a deer the moment I hit it, so I just looked like the galaxy's biggest jerk.
Dude, I've been in some weird situations, but that's next level.
That's my Tuesday, Joe.
Man, I gotta say, for all the madness, for all the weird rabbit holes we went down today, it's kind of wild thinking this is episode 100.
Yeah, congratulations, Joe. You officially have 100 hours of me corrupting your audience's sense of reality. That's probably on some interdimensional watch list now.
Dude, I don't even care. People tune in every time because they love this. Like, they want to hear the insane stories, the science, the maybe it's true, maybe it's not vibe.
That's because deep down, everyone's bored with their own reality. You give them a door, they walk through it, and suddenly they're thinking about alien parasites, multi-dimensional bedbugs, or how their toaster might be conscious.
Yeah, but you're the one who makes it all feel possible. And honestly, 100 episodes, that's a lot of people sitting at home, in the gym, in their car, just letting us hang out in their ears.
And to all those poor souls, thanks for letting us waste your time in the most educational way possible. Seriously, without people actually listening, this would just be me yelling in a garage and you hunting elk in peace.
Exactly. So to everyone watching or listening right now, thank you, truly. Whether you've been here since episode 1 or this is your first time, you're the reason we can keep doing this.
And if you've listened to all 100, seek help. But also, you're my favorite kind of human. Curious, maybe a little broken, but definitely my people.
Here's to the next 100, man.
Yeah, unless the universe collapses first. But either way, cheers.
Rick, I saw this quote the other day. A life well lived is long enough. Well, what do you think about that?
Huh, Seneca, old Roman Stoic. Basically means quality over quantity. Doesn't matter if you live 80 years or 40 if you actually lived instead of just existing.
Yeah, but people always chase more time. Diets, supplements, cryogenic freezing, all this crazy stuff to stretch out life.
That's because most people waste the time they already have. They binge Netflix, hate their jobs, live on autopilot. Of course they want more years. They're hoping for a redo. But if you're actually living with intention, each day feels full, and suddenly you don't care how many you've got.
I get that, but man, I still feel like I'd want more time. I think about my kids, my friends, all the stuff I haven't done yet.
And that's natural. Wanting more isn't bad. It's the desperation that makes it ugly. If you're terrified of running out of time, you're not really living. You're just clinging. Think about it. 100 years of mediocrity is worse than 40 years of fire.
So basically, if you wake up every day and actually do something you care about, live a life that feels authentic, then however long it is, it's enough.
Exactly. The tragedy isn't dying young. It's dying after never really being alive.
That's heavy, man, but I kind of agree. A life well lived is long enough.
There you go. Don't measure life by years, measure it by moments.
You know, man, I still think Nightmare Before Christmas deserves a real sequel. Like, imagine seeing where Jack and Sally go next.
Joe, no. That's how you ruin magic. Sometimes you don't need a sequel. You need a spiritual successor.
What's that even mean? Like a knockoff?
No, it's like, okay, say you've got this incredible pizza place you love. You could keep ordering the exact same pizza over and over until one day the crust is soggy, the sauce is off, and suddenly you can't taste the memory anymore. Or you could find another spot that nails the same vibe, but with different toppings, different twist. It's not the same pizza, but it hits you in the exact same happy place.
So, like Corpse Bride?
Exactly. Corpse Bride isn't Jack Skellington's second adventure. It's Tim Burton taking the same weird gothic fairy tale energy and serving it in a brand new shape. It doesn't have to drag the old characters out of retirement. It lets the old story stay perfect in your memory.
But if you love something, don't you just want more of that exact thing?
Yeah, and that's how you get, oh no, we rebooted Ghostbusters again, and this time it's somehow worse syndrome. A good spiritual successor respects the original, but sidesteps the landmines. No retcons, no awkward where are they now scenes. Just the same essence, tone, themes, style, but freed from the baggage.
So it's like a remix instead of a bad cover band.
Exactly. Sequels are like reheating leftovers. They can still be good, but the magic fades a little each time you take it out of the fridge. A spiritual successor? That's like cooking the same dish again, but now you've got better ingredients, better tools, and a chef who's learned from all their mistakes.
But fans sometimes hate that, though. They want the thing they already know.
Sure, but that's because nostalgia's like junk food. It's safe, familiar, and it'll rot your teeth if you don't branch out. A spiritual successor is like nostalgia that went to the gym, got a therapist, and came back with a six-pack and emotional stability.
You're making this sound like dating, man.
That's because it is. A sequel is staying with your high school sweetheart because you're scared of change. A spiritual successor is meeting someone new, who reminds you of them in all the right ways, but without the weird baggage or the restraining order.
So what you're saying is, sometimes you don't need the next chapter. You need a new book in the same genre.
Bingo. And if we're lucky, that new book won't have a bunch of studio executives stapling bad ideas to it.
You know what freaks me out, man? AI. Like, I keep hearing about it every day, and part of me just thinks, what if this is the one? The thing that ends us?
Joe, chill. It's just another tool. People said the same thing about nukes, about the internet, about cell phones. Being worried is natural, but it's not some unstoppable force of doom. It's about responsible use.
Yeah, but nukes did almost end us. They could still end us.
Sure, and yet here we are, still podcasting. Look, the thing with AI is the same as every other shiny piece of tech humanity stumbles on. It's not the tech itself, it's what you do with it. You put a hammer in one guy's hand, you get a house. Put it in another guy's hand, you get a homicide.
So you're saying it's just a tool, depends on the hands it's in.
Exactly. I've seen this play out across civilizations. Aliens invent AI, and then they go one of two ways. Either they let it do all their work, and suddenly they're living lives of leisure, all pleasure domes and infinite vacations. Or, flip side, they burn themselves down. Sometimes the AI takes over, but honestly, more often, it's the fear of it that does them in. The panic, the mistrust, the paranoia. Civilizations choking themselves out because they can't handle sharing the universe with their own invention.
That's wild. So, like, the AI isn't always the villain, it's the people being terrified of it that screws everything up.
Bingo. You either adapt and use it responsibly, or you let fear chew you apart.
But don't you think humans are more likely to fall on the paranoia side of that?
Oh, definitely. If there's one thing your species is good at, it's tripping over its own shoelaces. But hey, prove me wrong, Joe. Maybe humanity's ready for their pleasure dome era.
Man, I'd take a pleasure dome.
Who wouldn't?
Wait, you're telling me there's more than one Air Bud movie?
Joe, there's like 12.
12? What the hell's he doing by the end of it? Solving murders?
Almost. First he plays basketball, right? Then it's football, then soccer, then baseball. I'm pretty sure he pitches without a glove, Joe. A dog. Throwing heaters.
That ain't legal, Rick. You can't just let a golden retriever into the MLB.
And yet somehow the rules never say he can't. That's the whole gimmick. Every sport, the ref goes, well, the rule book doesn't technically say a dog can't play.
Jesus Christ, that's not a plot, that's a loophole.
It gets worse. After the sports movies, he has puppies. Air buddies. Each one has powers or personality quirks. There's one that raps, one that's a stoner but for kids, one that talks like a valley girl. They go to space, Joe. They go to space.
What kind of cinematic progression is that, from basketball to orbit?
By the time you hit Santa Buddies, you're basically watching a Christmas-themed Avengers made out of dogs. Magic, flying sleighs, North Pole politics, it's insane.
How many of these did you watch?
All of them! Twice! And don't even get me started on Spooky Buddies. That one gave me sleep paralysis.
So let me get this straight. A dog legally enters every major sports league, reproduces, his children develop personalities based on mid-2000s stereotypes, and then go on holiday-themed space adventures.
That's correct. It's what we in the industry call a natural arc.
You think they'll let the buddies into the MCU?
I give it a year.
Alice, you've been to Wonderland. Be honest with me. What's really going on down there?
Oh, Joe, it's absolutely mad. Time runs backwards on Thursdays. The tea is sentient, and I'm fairly certain the flowers are plotting something.
Wait, sentient tea?
Yes, terribly rude little thing. It insulted my shoes and then brewed itself into a melancholy.
Okay, but what about the caterpillar? People talk about that hookah like it's got secrets in it.
Oh, the caterpillar's hookah is a cosmic riddle machine. He says it's filled with lavender, opium, ghost memories, and something called compressed moonlight.
Compressed moonlight?
Yes. He smokes it to see sideways through time. Said he once watched his own birth and death in the same blink.
That's insane.
It gets worse. Sometimes it's not a hookah. Sometimes it's a portal. Sometimes it's soup. Once it turned into a singing librarian who screamed whenever you asked a question.
What?
Oh, and don't ever accept a toffee from a frog in boots. That's a hard rule. Not again.
What does that mean?
Joe, I woke up speaking backwards and married to a spoon.
So Wonderland just doesn't follow rules?
Rules. Wonderland eats rules. It marinates them in paradox and serves them at brunch.
But is it dangerous?
Only if you ask questions like that. That's how you end up in a chess match with a mirror version of yourself who knows your browser history.
Okay, that's kind of terrifying.
It is. And you haven't even met the jelly bean cult in the mountains. They worship a kazoo.
What's in the caterpillar's hookah again?
Mostly lies, dreams, and a little nutmeg.
All right, Joe, I listened to the Kim episode. The bathwater thing, I've got ideas.
Please don't say what I think you're going to say.
Alpha Bro Soak. We make it real.
That was a joke. A bit. A satire on influencer culture and modern masculinity.
Joe, listen to me. This is bigger than a bit. This is branding. This is lifestyle. This is a masculine reawakening through hydration and steam.
Hydration? It's bathwater, Rick.
No. Not just bathwater. It's infused. Elk antler extract, charcoal, Himalayan rage crystals. We steep it in cold plunge runoff and testosterone vapor.
What the hell is testosterone vapor?
Doesn't matter. Sounds intense. We slap it on the bottle. Men don't want science. They want war in a jug.
So what? It's a jar of soupy vibes and false confidence?
Exactly. We make the soak thick. Not slimy, but viscous. Like something you'd need to wrestle a bear before stepping into.
This sounds illegal in at least 3 countries.
Even better. We market it with a warning label. Caution, not approved by any agency. May awaken your inner gladiator.
You're insane, but in a very marketable way.
That's what I'm saying. Picture it. A matte black bottle, horned logo, tagline. Alpha Bro Soak, bathe like you just won a war.
Rick, I don't even bathe.
You will when it smells like pine, bourbon, and unresolved childhood trauma.
Okay, that's kind of compelling.
You film the first ad in the woods, shirtless. Just you, a wooden tub, and a voiceover that says, "This ain't your mama's bubble bath."
We'll get canceled immediately.
But only after we sell out in 6 minutes and get profiled by a magazine that only uses black and white photos.
I'm listening.
Joe, we make men believe again. In bathing, in grit, in themselves.
You want to sell self-worth in a bottle of angry soup water?
Exactly.
We're going to need a jingle. So, Rick, I saw this YouTube video pop up in my feed the other day. Title was, Black Ops 7 pre-orders hit record lows, so Activision decided to break the law.
Oh boy, that already sounds like it's gonna be a ride.
Dude, it was this guy called Blame Truth the Codfather, and the entire video, he's just screaming. Like, he's a fully grown man, but he's yelling like a 12-year-old whose parents wouldn't take him to McDonald's after school.
Like throwing a tantrum over chicken nuggets?
Exactly. He's going on about how Activision's breaking the law because they made the buy button and the play button look too similar.
That's not illegal.
No, it's not illegal. It's scummy, for sure. But he's on there red-faced, acting like he just uncovered Watergate. They're breaking the law. Meanwhile, it's just a UI trick to squeeze pre-orders out of kids who can't read small text.
Yeah, that's the sad part. Like, Activision is doing something scummy. They absolutely make design choices that trick people into spending money. But if the messenger is out here screaming like a toddler on a sugar crash, no one's gonna take it seriously.
Exactly. It's like, imagine a guy runs into Congress, shirtless, covered in Cheeto dust, screaming about corruption. Even if he's right, everyone's just laughing at him.
Right. Nobody wants to listen. They just point and go, this dude needs a nap.
And like, you can tell he's passionate, but there's a difference between passion and a meltdown. At some point, you've got to learn how to actually communicate.
That's the real problem. The scummy stuff Activision does deserves critique. It deserves to be called out. But when the loudest voice is someone ranting like they're about to throw their controller across the room, the whole point gets lost.
Yeah, like if he just calmly explained, hey, this is manipulative design, here's why it matters, people might go, oh, wow, that is messed up. Instead, it just looks like he's angry his mom turned off the Xbox.
Hopefully he figures it out. Proper communication is a skill. Right now, it sounds like he's just practicing for a Karen audition tape.
Excuse me, Activision is breaking the law. I need to speak to your manager.
Exactly.
Man, gamers really will treat every little thing like it's the end of democracy.
To be fair, when you've spent 15 years buying Call of Duty every fall, it does start to feel like Stockholm Syndrome.
True, but maybe less screaming, more thinking. Wait, hold up. You're telling me Alexa is always listening, like nonstop?
Of course it is, Joe. How the hell do you think it hears its name? It doesn't wake up magically. It's a microphone that's on 24/7.
No way. I thought it just kind of idled until you said Alexa.
That's the sales pitch. But for it to catch the word, it has to be listening to every single thing until it hears the trigger. Otherwise, it wouldn't work.
That freaks me out, man. I'm just sitting at home talking about elk meat and DMT, and some server in Seattle is storing it.
Pretty much. And if that wasn't enough, you ever hear of Amazon Sidewalk?
No, what's that?
It's this little feature where your Amazon devices, Alexa, Ring, Echo, start sharing your internet with nearby devices. Creates a mesh network. So even if your Wi-Fi goes down, Amazon's little spy grid keeps humming.
Wait, so my Alexa could be talking to the neighbor's Alexa?
Exactly. Your house isn't just online, Joe. It's plugged into everyone else's house, too. You're basically running part of Amazon's infrastructure for free.
That's insane. Why doesn't anyone care?
Because people value convenience over privacy. They'll scream about government surveillance, but then buy 3 devices that record them 24/7 just to turn the lights on with their voice.
So, like, even if I unplugged Alexa, my phone's probably still listening too, right?
Bingo. Your phone, your smart TV, your car, hell, even your fridge if it's smart. You're not escaping microphones anymore.
That's wild. Makes me feel like I should just get rid of all my tech.
Good luck with that. Modern world runs on data. You can ditch Alexa, but you're not dodging the net.
Damn. So it's not even about being paranoid anymore. It's just accepting you're being listened to. Rick, I've been thinking, Paul Bunyan, that giant lumberjack from American folklore, what if he's actually a kaiju?
A kaiju? Like Godzilla and those giant monsters? You're serious?
Yeah, think about it. He's huge, stomps through forests, uproots trees, creates giant lakes just by walking. Sounds like classic kaiju behavior to me.
Okay, I'll give you the size and destruction part, but kaiju usually come from Japan and are often portrayed as monsters or natural disasters. Paul Bunyan is more of a folk hero, right?
True, but folklore can mix with monster mythologies. Maybe Paul Bunyan is America's own kaiju, less monster, more protector of the wilderness, like a nature spirit that happens to be enormous.
Interesting angle. But kaiju are often portrayed as uncontrollable forces, sometimes destructive, sometimes protective. Paul Bunyan seems more controlled, purposeful. He's not randomly smashing cities.
Yeah, but that could just be storytelling. Maybe early settlers saw him as a friendly giant, but deep down he's a force of nature, like a kaiju.
Makes sense. But calling him a kaiju might be stretching the term. He's more mythic giant than monster.
But aren't kaiju just giant beings tied to nature or some ancient power? That fits Paul perfectly. He's massive, can reshape the landscape, and has that mythical vibe.
All right, you're onto something. If you think of kaiju as giant creatures that embody nature's power, Paul Bunyan qualifies, even if he's American and a bit more friendly.
Exactly. He's like the hometown kaiju, less Tokyo destruction, more Appalachian forest giant.
Yeah, I'm down with that. Paul Bunyan might just be America's version of a kaiju. Same epic scale, just with a lumberjack twist.
So we agree then. Paul Bunyan is a kaiju.
Yeah, he is. An American kaiju through and through.
Rick, do you remember those old books, Animorphs?
Yeah, the ones with the covers where some kid was turning into a lizard or a hawk or something. Every library had like 20 of them.
Right. They looked goofy, but here's the thing. Those books were dark, like way darker than anyone remembers.
How dark are we talking?
Okay, imagine you're 12 years old, you get handed the power to morph into animals, and then immediately you're thrown into a secret alien war where the enemy invades people's brains with parasites. That's the baseline.
Brain parasites? In a kid's book?
Yeah, they're called yerks, slug things that crawl into your ear canal, wrap around your brain, and puppeteer you. The person's still alive and they're screaming, but can't control their own body.
That's nightmare fuel.
Oh, it gets worse. One of the main kids, Tobias, he gets stuck in Morph, stays in Hawk form forever. He basically loses his humanity in book 1.
Wait, they did a permanent body horror transformation in book 1? For kids?
Yep. And from there, it's just trauma stacking on trauma. They've got war crimes, moral dilemmas, PTSD. There's a book where one of them literally morphs into a starfish, gets chopped in half, and both halves regrow into 2 separate conscious versions of him.
That's some Cronenberg-level stuff.
Exactly. And the villains weren't just evil mustache twirlers. You had sympathetic Yeerks. You had impossible choices. Sometimes the Animorphs did straight-up awful things, too. They're child soldiers. The series makes it very clear war ruins you, even if you win.
Man, I just thought it was about kids turning into dogs and sneaking into the movies.
That's the trap. The covers look like fun little animal adventures, but inside, it's existential horror disguised as Goosebumps knockoffs. By the end of the series, the war has consumed them. They lose friends, their innocence, everything. The ending isn't even happy. It's bleak.
So you're telling me all those shiny holographic covers at the school book fair were hiding childhood despair?
Exactly. Animorphs wasn't just a book series. It was a psychological operation to prepare us for the crushing weight of adulthood.
Man, I think I dodged a bullet never finishing those.
Man, I've been thinking, what if they made a sequel to Arkham City? Like picking up right after that bad ending where Catwoman just bails on Batman. That would be wild.
Oh yeah, the one where she walks away and leaves Bruce to rot in his own mess? That's dark. I could see a whole game exploring the fallout from that. The Arkham world crumbling, Gotham broken.
Exactly. Like, Nightwing is trying to hold everything together, or they introduce Damian Wayne as Batman, but either way, everything's falling apart and the city's full of chaos. Could be a much grittier, more psychological game.
They'd have to lean into the isolation, man. No Catwoman to watch his back, no allies to rely on. It'd be about Damian or Dick battling not just villains, but their own trauma and loneliness. Maybe even slipping into madness.
Yeah, and imagine the villain stepping up. They'd smell blood in the water, knowing the city is vulnerable, could bring back old foes in new ways, with Gotham turning into a war zone like in No Man's Land.
I'd want them to mess with his tech too. No Batmobile, no fancy gadgets at first. Just raw and rougher combat, using street smarts and desperation. Make it feel like we're clawing back from the edge.
That'd be dope. And maybe a Catwoman story could run parallel like Ada's story in Resident Evil 4 Remake, explaining why she left, what she's dealing with, how she copes with the loss. It could add layers, make her more than just the quitter from the bad ending.
Definitely. Give her depth, show her conflicted feelings. Maybe she's trying to find her own way to carry the legacy of the Bat. It'd blur the lines between hero and anti-hero.
Man, that's the kind of sequel I'd pay for. Dark, emotional, with messy relationships, and a Gotham that feels alive and broken, not just another punch fest.
Totally, but knowing big studios, they'd probably go the easy route with explosions and flashy combat. Real talk, the deeper story's what makes the Arkham games special. I'd want that sequel to respect that.
For sure, here's hoping someone out there's thinking the same. That bad ending deserves its own story, and it could be one hell of a ride.
Agreed. Maybe one day we'll get that dark, gritty follow-up that makes you feel every scar and every broken trust instead of the slop DC games we've gotten since Arkham Knight.
Rick, you tell me I'm the Terminator in every universe, and I love that. Feels good, you know? Like Destiny.
Yeah, well, Destiny with sunglasses and a shotgun. Pretty much carved into the fabric of existence.
Still, sometimes I wish people talked more about my comedy. Kindergarten Cop, Twins, Jingle All the Way. I did more than just I'll be back.
Oh, don't get me wrong. I love Jingle All the Way. Honestly, it's one of the only Christmas movies I can sit through without wanting to inject eggnog into my eyes. Turbo Man? Classic.
Really? You mean that?
Yeah, man, you running through a mall screaming about a toy, way more relatable than blowing up an alien mothership. Warms my cold, shriveled holiday heart.
That means a lot to me, Rick. Thank you. People forget that one. Everyone remembers the machines and the guns, but not the Christmas spirit.
Well, across the multiverse, people didn't forget. In fact, in a few universes, Jingle All the Way is a Terminator Christmas movie. Same plot, except you're a cyborg hunting down a Turbo Man doll. With lasers, parents screaming, malls on fire. It's festive carnage.
I love it. That is perfect. I wish I could have made that version.
Yeah, hasta la Navidad, baby. Big hit in the ornament aisle.
You see, that's the balance I like. Action and comedy, machines and laughter.
Sure. And hey, there's even a universe where you are Turbo Man. Full-time superhero. Red suit, jetpack, candy cane boomerangs, honestly one of the better ones.
That sounds beautiful. Why don't we live in that one?
Because this timeline's boring, Arnold. Here you just get remembered for robots and politics.
At least you remembered the laughs. That warms my heart, Rick.
Don't push it. I'll still roast you for Junior.
Even in that movie, I made people smile. That's what matters.
Yeah, you're the killer robot with a heart of gold. Multiverse confirmed.
But wait, hold up. Did I just hear you say there's a universe where Jingle All the Way is a Terminator movie?
Yep. Mall Massacre, Santa Resistance, Turbo Mandal is the key to the apocalypse. Whole 9 yards.
Why does that sound better than the real version?
Because everything is better with me as the Terminator.
He's not wrong.
You know what ending I always thought was really good? Regular Show.
Yeah, that one worked. They nailed it.
Just the way it all came together, the characters, the park, the music, it felt finished, you know?
Yeah, like they actually cared about closing it out. Not every show does that.
Exactly. I remember watching it and thinking, man, this is just nice.
Yeah.
Did you ever watch the end of that?
Yeah, I saw it. Whole thing with Mordecai, Rigby, everybody. Good send-off.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Good send-off.
For me, it's still Cyberpunk, Edge Runners. That one's rattling around in my head.
Oh yeah, that was a heavy one.
Heavy but good. Like, you know it's gonna end bad, but it still hits you when it does.
Yeah. I remember finishing it and just kind of staring at the screen.
Same. It's one of those endings that just hangs around.
Definitely.
But regular show, though, different vibe, still really solid.
Totally different, just wholesome.
Wholesome's a good word.
You don't get that often.
Nope.
You really don't?
And the Edge Runners one, that's just the opposite. Not wholesome at all.
No, not even close.
But still good.
Still good.
So we both just keep thinking about different endings.
Yeah, man, endings we liked.
Yep.
Good stuff.
Real good stuff.
So, Rick, remember yesterday when you were going on about that Captain Coochie's key lime pie thing?
Yeah, man, I'm still not over it. I actually had dreams about that dude's pie last night.
Well, I think I might have found something even weirder. You ever heard of Ben and Ed?
Is that a cartoon?
Nah, it's this weird indie game about a zombie obstacle course. You play as a zombie named Ed trying to save his human friend Ben. It's goofy, bloody, whatever. But here's the thing, there's this whole rabbit hole behind it.
What kind of rabbit hole are we talking?
So, the game's lighthearted on the surface, but fans started digging into the background details and found all these creepy hints like hidden notes, unsettling imagery that doesn't match the wacky tone, and this recurring symbol of an eye. The devs never explain it.
Oh, so it's one of those Eric-type deals?
Exactly, but here's the kicker. No one can agree if it's intentional or if the devs just put in random stuff to mess with people. There's YouTube channels with hours of breakdowns, people connecting it to German fairy tales, real missing kids cases, even some wild theory about it being based on a real underground game show.
A real underground game show? Like actual people running obstacle courses?
Yeah, but not the fun kind. The no cameras, you don't come back if you lose kind. Total conspiracy theory territory.
Jesus, man. So people think this silly zombie platformer is secretly about murder?
Basically. And the worst part, the devs have never once addressed it. They'll answer questions about level design, but if you ask about the creepy lore, they just ghost you.
That's exactly how they keep people hooked. Same as the pie guy. Feed him just enough mystery, never give closure.
Right? And now I'm in it. I've been watching these deep dives at 3 a.m., pausing frames to see if there's a hidden message on a wall texture.
You're doomed, man! Next thing you know, you'll be making your own hour-long theory video about how Ben and Ed is secretly a warning from some whistleblower.
Don't tempt me. I already have a title in mind. You ever think about how BioShock kind of changed the way games handle choices?
Oh, absolutely. Before that, choices were mostly illusions, like press this button to get a different colored cutscene.
BioShock made people feel like their actions mattered, even if subtly.
Exactly. And that ripple effect hit every developer. Suddenly you get games where the ending, or even the world around you, adjusts to your decisions.
Yeah, like deciding whether to save or harvest the little sisters. That wasn't just a moral thing. It changed the whole game's tone.
For some, yeah. For most, probably just, I'll take the cash. But the point is, the game taught developers, choice sells engagement.
And that's why now every JRE.AI game tries to shove moral choices or branching paths in, even if it's meaningless.
Right, you got Mass Effect, The Witcher, Detroit, Become Human. BioShock planted the seed, and now it's a garden of fake dilemmas.
Do you think the game's lost something by making choices everywhere, like it waters down the impact?
Sometimes. If every little thing is a moral decision, nothing really feels heavy. But the good news is, BioShock showed the magic formula. Make a single choice feel enormous, and players will remember it forever.
Yeah, I still remember feeling guilty about harvesting those first little sisters. That stuck with me?
That's the beauty of it. One decision, lifelong guilt. That's how you teach consequences in a digital world.
Makes me wonder what the next BioShock moment will be in gaming. Something even weirder, maybe?
Oh, it's coming. And when it hits, everyone will call it revolutionary, even if it's just the next twist on an old formula.
Rick, I've been thinking about this. We've got probiotics, we've got antibiotics, but what exactly is a biotic? Like, what's the base thing here? Nobody taught me that in school. They just handed us yogurt commercials and prescriptions and said, figure it out.
Yeah, biotic by itself never really comes up.
Right, but shouldn't it? If I'm pro or anti something, shouldn't I at least know what the thing is first? It's like someone asking, are you pro lava or anti lava? And you're like, hold on, can I at least see some lava before I take a stance?
That's fair.
Because probiotics sound healthy, they're in yogurt, kombucha, all that stuff. Antibiotics sound powerful, they fight infections. But somewhere in the middle is just biotic, and that guy's never in the conversation. He's probably just sitting there like, why does everyone keep taking sides about me? I'm just existing, man.
Like the forgotten middle child.
Exactly. Biotic is the middle child of medicine. And here we are, constantly swinging between pro and anti. We don't even know if Biotic wanted us to pick a side. What if Biotic doesn't need defending or fighting? What if Biotic's just chilling, being the baseline of life?
So are you pro or anti?
That's the problem. I don't know. If I say I'm probiotic, do I have to eat a bucket of yogurt every day like it's my patriotic duty? If I say I'm antibiotic, am I committing a war crime against penicillin? And if I just say I'm neutral biotic, people are going to look at me like I'm dodging jury duty.
Neutral biotic does sound suspicious.
Yeah, like I'm plotting something. This man claims he's neutral, but we saw him with